Welcome back to It's Me Unlocked. It's your girl, Jasmine.
And I'm the man with the buttery voice, the number one choice to keep all the ladies moist, DJ Just Effects. Now, Jazz, we've got a full moon going on tonight.
We do.
Tell me what you know about
not tonight. It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Tell me what's going on. You said you went to the beach to go experience the polarity or what?
So it's a full moon in Aries. I am an Aries moon. So this was all the full moons are important to me, but this one was extremely important. So I went to the beach for a sound bath and Reiki session. It's a small, intimate group. I usually don't go to a lot. I do a lot of stuff myself, but this lady, she's pretty legit. So I went down to the beach for sunset, and it was about 40 minutes. The sound bath, and another lady walking around doing Reiki. So I think a lot of people, Aries is like ruled by Mars. It's like the planet of war. So I think it's been intense energy. A lot of people quick to snap, and especially me as an Aries moon, I felt that intensely. So I was just watching myself at all times. But also, I think the good parts of the Aries moon is like it's a time to like really reflect and think about what do I want to be? Where do I want to be bold? Where do I need to stop being indecisive and I need to like take charge and make a decision? It's a good time to like say, okay, where do I need to start putting myself first? Because Aries can be a little bit of a selfish sign. So those are the positive signs of it. And also to look at where you're losing it a little bit, because that was popping up for a lot of people. But the effects of the full moon usually it usually start to feel it like a day or two before, and it lasts. Like energy doesn't cut off directly, so it usually goes into like a extra day or two afterwards. So you can still do your baths tonight or tomorrow, or write down what you want and release whatever you need to release. But
I got to release a bunch of stuff. So tell me what Reiki is exactly. Reiki is like an energy, like they don't touch you, but they're putting energy.
They're putting energy. They're using energy to like heal certain chakra parts. This is like an old practice. I know a lot of like Native Americans do it and stuff like that. You have to be, not anybody can do this. It's a gift, even if you are a spiritual person, and everybody's not gifted at everything. Like I do a lot of spiritual shit. I don't know if I'm gifted at Reiki. I've never even attempted to dabble in it yet, but it was real interesting. It was my first time working with somebody that did that, because I always said I was gonna go to like maybe up to Sedona, somewhere where there was like some Native American person. I was gonna go and experience it with them, but this lady's background was pretty good, and she's Mexican. She has Native American blood. Like she did her job, because it was a very intense night.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, for me, not the other people there, but.
So what did you release? Can you tell me?
I think I won't say everything, but some of the things I released were certain people in my life that I think just they don't bring any value. It's more of a energy sucker. I have way too much going on. I don't have time to be everybody's mother and to nurse, take care of it. It doesn't matter if it's like a personal relationship or whatever. I'm taking a step back. I'm not engaging in the banter. I'm not taking care of you. So whoever was on that list, they're done. And procrastination. I'm good at it, and sometimes it's fine. I can write a 30-page paper overnight if I can do stuff in that way. But in certain times, I need to be more on top of things and do it ahead of time. And also just indecisiveness. Like it's real easy to make decisions when it's like say it's something pressing, like if somebody said like, okay, who do you want to die, Jesse or this person? I could probably choose really quickly, because in situations
it wouldn't be me.
Situations like that, I'm great. But when somebody's like, okay, vanilla with chocolate sprinkles, with rainbow sprinkles, or chocolate with chocolate sprinkles, like these little stupid things, sometimes I'm just like, so fixated on vision, being a visionary on both aspects. I just go down these rabbit holes instead of just being cutthroat. And so I think for me, just learning how to make a decision quicker and just not, like I said, procrastination, and just being more efficient. I need to be more focused. I need to be more on a schedule. I'm very passionate and all over the place, which serves me in certain ways, but in other ways, I'm just like, especially now that I'm a kitty mom, I just need to step up to the plate a little.
That's right.
What about you? Do you have any goals you're gonna go? Are you gonna burn any papers tonight? Now that I'm telling you,
oh man, always.
What do you need to release?
My life is constant cleaning the clutter, because I get so bombarded with phone calls and people trying to demand my time and my energy in all these different fragmented ways, and so I really got to be selective on where I focus my energy. But I'm always positive. My energy is always positive because I'm the best zodiac sign, though, so, which is a Libra. And so I'm very balanced and healthy and harmonious. So people want my time.
First of all, you are on the cusp of Libra and Virgo.
True.
So.
But I'm heavy Libra.
No, there's certain things you say, and I can tell that is definitely some Virgo, because my dad's a Virgo.
He sounds like a good man. I like your dad already, but the Libra side of me, I always want to people please.
Yeah,
and
definitely so, that is a Libra thing and not a Virgo thing.
When people reach out to me, hey, can you come do this? Can you help me with this? Can you do this? I got that constantly.
Yeah.
Because I have a few resources. I'm blessed to have a few resources and people call, and that's just But what about exes? Did you cut out some exes? Because one of the topics we wanted to touch on today was sex with the ex. So tell me. I know you had probably you've broken a lot of hearts. You probably have a few exes.
I'm a lot mature and wiser now. I don't go around trying to break hearts. That's just bad karma. Maybe I did that in my teenage years, early 20s, but no, I don't do that now. I know it's I get instant karma. If I do anything, I get punched in the face right away in the most aggressive way. So I'm just no. If I'm not interested, I'm like, Jasmine, do you want to be with this person? No. Okay, walk away. Don't waste their time. So I don't normally do that, but I did have a couple of exes where, I still did somewhat, even though nothing was happening on certain levels, there were still a lot of talking, and occasionally oh, you want to grab a coffee, or I want to catch up. And there was too much of that. I could tell it was it was always an attempt. Even though I was setting boundaries, I was always an attempt to jump over the platonic line. And also it was draining. It was so much fighting. They would call me and try to rile me up. I was just what am I doing? You're trying to get me to hurt your feelings, and I want to, and that's not becoming a me. And let me tell you, I'm an Aries moon, so if I can be mean, I enjoy it. It's just not good. I'm a spiritual person, though, so I don't do stuff like that anymore.
My ex-wife is an Aries.
Oh, she's an Aries.
Yeah. So I understand. I understand the war. I understand.
The moon placement is worse. Trust me. It's the inner part. It's how you handle your emotions, how you channel energy, and that's why somebody can be I'm a Cancer. A lot of people meet Cancers and they're like, oh my God, she's so sweet all the time and this and that. But maybe she's a Cancer with a Pisces moon. Or, you know what I mean? But having that moon, it's not a normal moon placement. And having a planet ruled by war as your moon placement, where you channel emotion, it was a big learning, because everything's so intense. And it's easy just to a lot of people that even deal with trauma and stuff do this. It's easy to just go to anger than to anything else. It's I'm not going to be sad. Fuck you. You know what I mean? It's easy.
Cancers are already on the emotional side too.
So I'm a mess. Yeah. So I was a mess. I'm not a mess anymore. I digress on that.
But okay. So out of all the astrology signs, who?
Wait. You skipping. We didn't finish sex with the ex.
Okay.
Because I want to know from you, do you think it's okay to have sex with your ex?
Depends on your current relationship status and the involvement in your current relationship. So look, if you're not encumbered by a current relationship and an ex pops up, I think it's okay. I think, but you got to be able to detach yourself from getting back into the relationship. So you got to be able to separate the sex from the toxic relationship that already transpired. Right?
And you know how to do that, is what you're saying?
I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah, exactly.
However,
Okay,
because one of the two, because there's always and I'm an expert on this, there's always a lopsided relationship if it goes sour. It's not a give and take. It's one is really into the other person, the other person's kind of like, I'm indifferent, or I'm not even into it,
Yeah.
So there's one cat and there's one mouse in the relationship, usually. And so that cat that's chasing is going to be more emotionally involved in that situation because they have their heart still in it. But if you can mutually meet together and exchange a sexual workout and sweat and have it, I
don't even like the way you put that. And I'm just going to say this. So
plutonic sex. Does that not exist?
You're saying if you're the mouse, it's
Yes.
okay for you to do it because you're not the one emotionally involved.
Right. If you get caught, all right, let me go after you're done.
So you normally hook up with exes, though. So if you run into somebody, if you're the cat, do
Look,
you do it, or if you're the mouse, or have you done it either way?
This is gonna sound egotistical, but I'm always the mouse. I'm always get chased. I always get chased. And,
oh Lord.
And I'm so busy. I'm such a busy person that I don't have time for the emotional relationships and the
Do you make that clear with these people before you hook up with them?
I'm very clear. And that's, they call me facts for a reason, because I just say, hey, look, don't get involved emotionally with me because I'm a busy person. I'm a busy person, and I understand time as a love language.
Yeah.
For
some.
So if I can't provide that, I don't feel like I'm adequate in that.
Maybe you need to start asking people what their love language is when you meet them.
I should.
And if they're like quality time, you could be like, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I can do. No.
I read that
I've been
book.
down this road. I've been down this road, Karen. You can't do it.
I read that book, Don Miguel Ruiz. I read that book, and I read, I've read a couple of the love language books, and I understand it, and I get it, And for me, my love language is verbal. I'm intrigued. So when I get to meet somebody, I'm intrigued with the banter and the talking and
so you like words of affirmation too.
Words of affirmation is absolutely, and so I need that. I actually crave that.
Do you date people that give that?
Hopefully, sometimes I do, but a lot of times I like to date Latinas, and they give me words of hatred.
No, I know a lot of. I don't know what Latinas you're dating. I know a lot of Latinas that give words of affirmation all day.
Well, during sex, but then afterwards,
no.
It's like,
what are you talking about?
Oh man. Maybe you need to introduce me to somebody.
I don't know what you're talking about. During an argument, maybe they're not.
No,
but I know
criticism.
A lot of,
I get criticized. I get negative. I don't know. Maybe it's me though. Maybe I'm triggered.
I think you are some of the problem, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, that's brilliant.
But I'm gonna have to disagree with you on if people can meet up and do. I don't think it's ever a good idea to have sex with your ex. When I broke up with somebody this year in January, I did see them again in April. And I did hang out with him platonically a few times. We did not hook up.
He wanted to though.
He did. And
I was like, he was the cat.
And I said, what did I say? I was like, what did I say? I was like, you are not what I want. These are things that you don't want to evolve and change into. I'm just not interested. Like, I'm just not. And you know,
but if he caught you on the right day, hold on. If he
no,
catches you on the
I saw
right
this
day,
man every weekend for 3 months. No, you can't catch me on a right day. When I say something, I am a Capricorn Mars. When I fucking say something, I'm like a rock. And when somebody tries to challenge that, it makes me want to arm wrestle back. And like, the only way you could really challenge me is by blowing my mind and evolving and kind of being miraculously something more appealing. And then I would be like, God, what the hell? Like, it would blow my mind, though. You know what I mean? And most people don't have the capacity in themselves to do that. So I'm usually, my mind's not blown, and then I'm over it. I'm like,
poor souls.
So for me, like, I don't ever think it's a good idea. I try not to ever go down that road of sex with any exes. Like, and I there's certain exes that I just cannot be friends with. There's certain ones that I attempt to be friends with, and if they can't respect that, especially if I'm in the, you know, dating somebody else, then I just have to, you know, stop answering your texts. And then usually I'll get cussed out and I won't respond, and then they'll stop.
Yeah. You put the wall up. But so that's a good question. So out of all the astrological signs, who are you boning and who are you in a relationship with? Yeah, because it's got to be, sometimes it's different.
Yeah, well, okay, so the more like who's the best to have sex with out of the signs, right?
Right, for you.
And I'm going to say...
probably Libra. Most likely you're going to say Libra.
No.
Oh, we're so attentive.
No. You know what?
People pleasers.
I'm going to have to probably give this to 2 placements.
Okay.
And I'm going to say some, and I do not like dating this sign. I'm just going to say this right now. I think you guys are fucking psychopaths. And I did go into a relationship with this sign. And I mean, I had to move to get away from him because he was that crazy. I was like, I'm not doing this again. But Scorpios, I don't like dating them. I love the women. I am, and some of y'all bitches are crazy, but too, that are Scorpios, because I got some Scorpio best friends, and they're so possessive. I gotta tell them, you ain't invited. You don't get along with other people, so I'll see you in our own little group. Because
Scorpios are vindictive.
But I gotta be real. Like, at least my Scorpio girlfriends usually can handle that. The men, I cannot have some, like, I think we do have good sexual chemistry, and there's enough like sensuality there and connection and depth. But yeah, dating wise, I couldn't do it. And I think people that have Scorpio Mars, I think that placement makes people exquisite lovers at times. And I think sometimes certain Pisces placements too, like the Pisces moon, too. I like that moon placement. But dating a Pisces sun, probably not. I like none of these signs I want to date. Pisces, Scorpio, no offense. No, I don't want to date you.
So if you're Pisces or Scorpio, you might have a shot at a one-night stand.
No, because it really depends. I did meet this one. I went on a date with this guy, and he was a Scorpio. And it was so weird. We had sexual chemistry, but I always get people to open up because I ask so many questions. I don't do it in an interview way, but I do it in a way where it just flows conversations. Like, I want them to open up. I want to start like seeing you, feeling you, like people start just spilling it all out. And then, he starts talking about how he always goes to these sex clubs, and he always says this, and he always says that. He's like, I've never told anybody this before, but I go every week, and he's telling me all kind of shit, which I'm not like. Yikes. I'm not a judgmental person. I don't really give a fuck what people do. But I also used to have really bad OCD. So I start thinking like what? Like, let me look at your fingernails. Like, how often do you get tested? You going to you know what I mean? I start thinking about all that stuff. So then, even regardless, I had a little bit of chemistry there, and I freaked myself out with like the cleanliness thing. I was just like, I gotta tap out here. So nothing. It depends, because sometimes you can't be too wild, or it's not gonna it's not gonna fly. But what about you? What is the best sign that you've had sex with?
Virgo with daddy issues.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
For the women, not the men, though.
yeah. I don't know with
But
Scorpios.
they're a little bit too
Scorpios, I can't
attached
be
for me.
friends with Scorpio men. I can't even be in a relationship with Scorpio women. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of Scorpios. I've had too many.
That's because you know you'll probably have feelings for once, and you won't be the mouse. You might be the cat.
Maybe.
Because let me tell you, and this is I'm not poking at earth signs, but a lot of like earth signs, it is a lustful place. But the thing is, for me, like I've dated Virgos. Like my dad's a Virgo. There's no depth there in sex. It's like they want to have sex all the time. They're sexual in that way. Like, I just want to have sex. But there's no like movement there. There's not enough sensuality and depth there for me to really like explode. Like, I'm just like, it's not there for me. It's too a science. It's too like
They're analytical. They are analytical.
I'm like,
that's true.
yeah. I mean, but if you're just like in a phase where you're just like, I just want to fuck, and like they're perfect. They will fuck you all motherfucking day. Go on. But yeah, for me, like a couple of the Virgo men I was in relationships with, I was just, and then when I talked to my dad, because me and my dad have a very like close relationship, and too close sometimes, where he just tells me everything about his past, and I'm just like, oh my god, like he reminds me of men that I dated, Virgo men, and I'm just like, oh my god, like I can't date Virgo men. I'm just they're on the no list for me. Nope. I'll have one work under me though. I think you guys are great assistants, or just like if you were on my team. I love having a Virgo under me. Not above me though. That's not happening. I will not work under a Virgo. You guys are too fucking controlling and looking down on my ass. I don't have
judgmental.
The time. Yeah. They're like, judgmental. I don't cross my T like that. Who told you to? I'm like, what the fuck? Back up. I will cross this T however I want. Like I can't deal with stuff like that. But anybody else besides Virgo? And why was it the Virgo? Just because of the sex all the time, or?
Oh yeah, the sex was amazing. But see, I might have a different experience because I had very, very passionate sex. Very, very.
Maybe, you know what? Let me not shame all like Virgos. Maybe there was a Scorpio moon there, or a Pisces moon, or a Cancer moon. Something.
I think it was the daddy issues. I think it was the daddy issues because that kind of propels.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That doesn't propel passion. That like it doesn't.
Maybe
it doesn't. No.
Because they think
it can
propel. They're taking it out on you.
It can propel like wanting to please somebody and wanting acceptance, but it can't propel passion. No, that's not.
Because look. Full disclosure, she's got my gigantic unit, right? And she's looking at me, trying to please me, looking at me, doing the whole time, and I'm like, okay, she's got perfect eye contact during this whole thing, and she was genuinely trying to please me.
Okay, trying to please somebody and passion are, I think, two different things.
Well, she was very passionate about it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Okay, that brings me to another topic, though. So
wait, we're not done. You be rushing the topics.
Oh, okay.
You didn't answer my question on wait, I didn't ask you yet. Who do you want to date out of all the signs?
Look, I know I badmouthed Aries before, but I've been in a couple relationships with Aries, and Aries is since I'm a Libra, they're my exact opposite. Mm-hmm. And so there is a balance there. There is, because they have certain qualities that I don't have that I admire, and I feel like I counteract their serious side.
We gotta look to see what your moon sign is, so we can
know what it is.
Yeah, because I get that. That's probably why we vibe too, because I'm an Aries moon, and even well, I'm not supposed to point at him. Even Ed, who's the owner of ItsMii, like he's a Libra. Like I'm very like, sometimes I'm just an ass, but I just, I also like to see if I can roll up a Libra, because they never say, so I'm just like, that part of me that's like, they go get mad. Like, I don't,
it's hard
immature.
It's hard to rile up the Libras because we're so balanced. We're so zen.
I can do it though. I know I've done it to the women a few times. I have a few Libra friends. I went back and forth with a Libra friend of mine on Facebook. She always tries to like she's pretending and like she wrote this post and she was coming down on everybody in the comment section and acting high and mighty. And I think I was on one that day. You know, my Aries moon was, and I wrote in. I was like, I don't know why you're acting like, you know, people that follow you on this Facebook page haven't known you for 15 years. I'm like, I've been around you when you've done certain things. I've been a witness. One was 4 years ago. I'm like,
you aired her
so
out?
I said, you need to, and she was like, and she tried to come. We went back and forth for 7 hours. I'm not gonna stop. I got all night. I'm like, I am.
Libras are linguists too.
No, but she can't come. She cannot. I'm the one person that we always get in these. We even gotten into text message fights where we kept trying to get the last word, and this went on for 2 days until I got it, because I wasn't gonna motherfucking.
That's
stop.
a Capricorn in you.
I was like, you gonna die tonight. I know it's horrible, but I mean, I do love her. And then after I like break her, she always oddly comes back to me, and then she's just like, I miss you, and I want to, you know, and I don't know.
Sometimes she might like a challenge though. Some people,
yeah.
admire.
I think she's so good at bamboozling people, and I call her out on the bamboozle, and then I act like I don't want to deal with her afterwards, and she can't handle that. She's like, does she not like me anymore? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, we're kind of Libras are like that. We want to make sure that everybody's copacetic and you know.
Yeah, you're right though. That is my Capricorn Mars. It makes me keep going.
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna agree with you on that. Like I have an Aries moon, and I really an evolved Aries though. Like I really do like dating. I like dating fire signs in general or air signs. I cannot date earth signs. Sorry guys. A lot of my good girlfriends are earth signs. But y'all be boring me. I be bored. I'm like, okay, we're going to do this routine every day. I'm going to go to work, you know, have that same cup of coffee, Folgers, like open the paper. Then, you know, then I'll start doing
Who's reading the paper?
I'll
Who are you
start hitting
dating?
you upside the head. I'll be like, you know, I get so irritated. I'm just like, why, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. Life loses all meaning and I lose my mind. I do that at jobs too when I have a 9 to 5. Like, ask Ed, the owner of ItsMii, like when we worked together, I used to lose my mind sitting there. I would be coming over being like, hey, you know, I couldn't relax because I was bored. I can't do too much mundane routine. So for me, you know, earth signs, even though they're steady and they're dependable and I could have married about 5 of y'all, I always have to break it off. I'm just like, I'm going to cheat on you or I'm going to do something horrible. And then I'm going to be the bad guy. So I just got to leave right now so you can find a nice girl that's normal and likes to, you know, wants to just live a regular life every day. Move out to the suburbs and, you know.
Boring.
Have a garden.
Boring.
I don't know.
Okay, so... Yeah, so you must have been dating some older men that were reading the paper.
No.
I don't know what that's all about. Michael Caine, you're dating freaking Morgan Freeman or something. I don't know, reading the paper.
I did date one older man, and yes, he did read the newspaper. Why, I don't know. I was like, but it, you know, it's like my grandmother's late husband. He still always read the newspaper, even though the damn cable TV said it all right there. I'm like, we have it all plugged in for you. CNN, this, that, but I don't know. Yeah,
Some people are routineo.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, I wanted to know this. Who are you sending nudes to? Is that a good idea?
I'm not sending nudes to anybody unless they're my dude. And is it a good idea? Probably not. I've dated some petty men in my time. But I would like to think that I'm somewhat being a better picker now that I'm a tad bit older. But a lot of the guys that I've dated now too, a lot of them don't have social. They're so private. When I was younger, I was dating the people that liked attention a lot. Like, you know, they were all out there. So they would be the type to blackmail me or whatever the case may be. But I'm not just randomly sending nudes like these guys do on fucking Instagram, DMing you dick pics and random shit, or on like dating apps. Like I don't understand, man. Like, I get it if you're following your favorite sex worker, like maybe you think that's fine, and I'm sure they still don't appreciate it unless you're paying them on like ItsMii and you're DMing them that, then fine. But unsolicited nudes is fucking weird. I don't know where, that triggers off. Like, she's gonna see this and be happy. I don't know what it is. She's gonna message me after this. Like this isn't the first dick. We're not excited. Who are you, you fucking creep? Like, have some game. You know what I mean? Calm down. It's absolutely atrocious, and I will go through extreme lengths to get you banned on anything that you do that to me on. I'm extreme. I'll lie if I have to. But what about you? Do you send nudes?
Oh
to
no,
people?
no. And I'm sure my dick photographs well. I'm sure it.
No, you just video yours. I don't even know why.
Yeah.
But why are you not taking pictures and sending them?
I don't. I feel like that's. I honestly feel like that's intrusive, and I feel like, to me, honestly, the male body is, to me, unattractive, completely. And the female body is a beautiful work of art.
We gotta give you a self-love exercise. We go set up a photo shoot for
No,
you.
I love myself, but I don't think anybody else needs to see it.
And we're gonna write on you, "I love me."
Yeah, I'm proud of myself. No, look, I'm sure my
women that you date are like, babe, like
I'll show it to them in person.
No, I'm not talking about, but when I'm with a guy like that I like, I'm always like complimenting. I mean, of course, I like words of affirmation too, so I usually date guys that are like that. But I'm also, that's how I give love. So I'm like always complimenting them. Like, so, I mean.
No, I'm confident. I'm super confident. And I'm sure that they would be grateful if I sent them that. But I feel like it's intrusive. I feel like it. And then I know, because of my small level of, in the public eye, I feel like it'll come back and haunt me later.
Well, yeah, if
somebody,
you're dating,
a girl will say, "Oh, look, I got Just the Facts, friggin' hog here in this picture."
Well, you're never like sexting any of the girls?
No, I'm
never sex.
I'm old fashioned. No.
But you just told me you're busy. You just told me you're busy.
I know. I'm too busy for that. That's crazy.
Bro,
I'd rather do it in person.
You can't. I
don't watch basketball, but I'll go play it.
Dude, I don't. I get it, but at some point you have to zone in that air energy that you have wobbling around up there. You gotta, and that's a Libra joke. That's an air sign joke. You gotta zone it in and be like, and come to it and be like, I can be like, today was busy as hell. I'm still gonna message the person that I like and say something like either cute, sexy, or just endearing, just so they know. This is not to have a conversation, but this is just to send it. Like, you have to, like, I'm all over the place too. I have a lot of fire energy. Like, I'm sporadic, but I mean, you gotta sex, even if you ain't sending a damn phone. And you don't even gotta sex all radar. You could just be like, I'm thinking, like, something. Come on.
No, look,
do a little bit of flirting, man.
I'll send gifts. I'll send gifts. I'll send some risky gifts. But to send
what?
Like people making out and scratching backs and stuff like that. But for as far as me, my personal,
you the person who is like a vocalist, you're like a writer and a rapper and all this, and you can't fucking write
I write dirty. I'm filthy.
Write it to the person you're doing it with.
I do.
Keep it spicy.
I do it.
You're boring me already.
No,
Come on,
no,
Jesse,
I do it.
step
But we're talking about the nudes. I'm leery about that. I'm actually,
okay. Be leery about it. But next time I fucking talk to you, I want to hear that you sex somebody.
I'm gonna send you my first dick pic. I'm gonna send it to you.
No,
I'm gonna send it to you, and you tell me what kind of response you have, and we'll see if it goes over.
That is not my advice. I want you to flirt a little. Send a little flirty text to whoever you're, and get a little. You're a wordsmith. I am disappointed in you.
No,
that
I'm
you
dirty.
Ain't using
I'm dirty in
that
my
energy.
words, but I just don't send my buddy down there. I let him do his talking.
No, okay, fine. Don't do that. But you said you didn't sex either. That's my point. Like,
well, yeah, I do suggestive. I will say suggestive stuff and try and allude, but I don't say, I can't wait to put my cock in.
No,
your,
you don't have to. I
don't say that.
You're a damn wordsmith. I did not say for you to be that goddamn specific.
Well, I do joke.
Okay.
If they say something, I'll counter it and have innuendos, sexual innuendos.
Yeah, but everything's not a joke. Don't make everything a joke either, because that shit gets annoying. When I'm trying to be sexy, it's time to be sexy. I don't need you being like, ooh. I'd be like, I'm about to slap the shit out of you.
No, I get down.
You about to piss me off.
This is
some serious shit. You better fucking be ready to worship.
Okay.
We going to church now.
Let's go. I'll give me the hymn book right now. So listen. So speaking of, body parts, but the non-sexual type of body parts, which one's your favorite? Don't tell me feet. Don't tell me a man's feet, because men's feet.
I don't like
awful.
I don't like feet in general.
Okay.
In general, I never really have. I used to make I feel so bad for this, but my little sister's like 4 or 5 years younger than me, and I couldn't stand her feet. I couldn't stand feet, period. But she would always come by me, and I'd be like, if you sit by me, you got to cover your feet. I couldn't handle it, even as a child. But occasionally, if my man's feet are decent, like, I'm gonna touch them. It's the only person, because nobody else is getting that. I don't give a fuck.
But he washes them first.
I date clean men.
That's right. Okay.
Let me tell you something. I went on a date with, not to get off the subject, I'm gonna get right back on it. But I went on a date with somebody, and I think it was a Sunday or something. In our area, stuff was closing early, and he was just like, "Oh, would you like to have one more drink?" And we tried to find a place, and nothing was open. So he was like, "Look, just come by my place. We can do one drink. Like, I swear I'm gonna be on my best behavior." I'm like, "Okay, sure." I was like, "YOLO."
Smooth.
No, he was. I wasn't feeling him. I was enjoying myself, but it wasn't really. I was still like on the fence.
And you drank out of his shoe.
Oh my god.
Okay, no, that wasn't the end of the story.
No, I went to his. What did I do? I went. I don't know why you said that. I went to his house, and like I come in, and his house is disgusting.
Yikes.
Like I had to use the bathroom. There was like shit stains in the toilet and all kind. I was just like, you know what? I'm not feeling well. I have to go, because I like stuff like that I can't deal with. So, yeah, I'm a very, the men I date are very, very clean. A borderline OCD, especially because I can be a little messy. So I like my men clean, unless they can afford a maid. So then that's different. But anyways, so back to favorite part about a person. For me, it's definitely the eyes. Like, I can see a lot there. Like,
it's very communicative.
Yeah, I can see a lot there. Like, even if somebody's trying to put on a show or whatever, I can see everything right in the eyes. I'm like, okay, I'm just watching them talk, but I'm paying attention to what their eyes do, the depth behind it, like how they look when they're talking about certain things, how they look when they're paused. I pay attention to that. So, yeah, it would have to be the eyes. Like, if I don't see anything there, then yeah, no.
That's right.
What about you?
As far as body parts, look, the heart is number one. No, listen, the back, the small of the back. I don't know what it is about. Like the small of the back, there's something sexy about that.
What do you mean, like?
I don't know, but
like a wide back?
No. If like I'm talking about the lower lumbar, right?
Yeah.
If a girl wears a dress and that that's exposed, that does something for me.
Oh, the lower back.
It's weird. It's weird for me, but I see a girl's lower back and I'm like, okay, and it can't have, hair on it or anything awkward like that. What's wrong
with low hair?
I mean,
maybe you can braid it.
Yeah, figure it out. But
give it a little twist.
I don't know that if a girl's showing the small of her back and it's just right, there's something to that, because maybe it's the gateway to the booty, but but I mean,
Ooh, yeah.
There's something about
obsession with anal, huh?
No, not necessarily anal. I think it's the curvature of that, and we like to get on it. We like to get on it and get right there behind it, and so. But I'm always, and this is full disclosure, when I'm hitting the girl from the back, right? I get into the hip flexors. I massage too. That's the kind of giver that I am in bed.
God,
I massage that lower back.
Lord
I'm into
Jesus,
that because I want her to have pleasure. And so that brings me up, like that pleasure word brings me up to that show You. And I learned a new word from that show You. You've seen that, right?
Of course I've seen it.
Compersion. And that's where you get pleasure out of somebody else getting pleasure. You're watching somebody else get pleasure, or somebody else is getting that pleasure.
Or somebody, like, isn't it also like watching your, because I think I saw this in the sex life too, where somebody else was hitting on the other person's partner, and that
gives them joy. It gives them joy, yeah, because they know that their partner is happy, or no,
they like that their partner is desired.
Yeah,
I can agree with that aspect of it. Like, even when I was younger, I did really always date the most popular or the most powerful person, usually, because I liked, like, that they got attention. Like, I know a lot of people. I have certain friends where she was one of my friends, and she was dating this high up guy that they were hooking up, and she works in, like, the...
Did he read the paper?
Finance. No, he wasn't that old. But she couldn't handle it because he was this high up guy in finance in the building that she worked in, and everybody liked him, and she could not handle that shit. She's like, I don't like, and me, I'm the opposite. I like it. I'm like, I love to walk in, everybody looking at my dude. I brisk up there. I float like a fucking, like, I don't even... like a goddamn bird, just right over there, and I'm just gonna be right by your side or off watching you. Most of the men I date are respectful anyways. I'm not really worried about that. And if somebody...
Who would cheat on you? Who would cheat on you, Jazz?
I dated one asshole that was a cheater, but I mean, he wasn't really an asshole. Let me not say that. But for the most part, nobody.
That's right. So for
the most part, nobody.
That show was interesting, though. I saw the most recent season. The show You, and I was mad that girl Love, cheated on her man with the little college student.
He was cheating too. He was in love with somebody else.
Yes, he was.
I mean, he didn't get to fuck the other person yet because Love was smart enough to kill her first.
She killed her. She's
and then
vicious.
But he was in love with the librarian girl.
She was cute.
Yeah, and
her eyebrows were gigantic, but I think they were drawn into.
I love gigantic eyebrows.
That's in right now, right?
I mean, it doesn't have to be in right now for me to love it. I just fucking love that shit. Don't change it ever, even if it goes out of style. Keep those gigantic eyebrows.
Yeah, you would have done well with Groucho, the comedian. With
I don't know who the fuck that is.
He was the guy with the cigar.
I don't like the name.
And the huge eyebrows. Anyways, so what did you think of the show? I think it's great writing. Actually, I think Joe's commentary, what is that called, when his inner monologue that's coming out, I think that's humorous. I think whoever wrote that, and I don't know how much of the book, because I know it's based on a book. I don't know how much of the book has that inner dialogue, his self dialogue, and I feel like that kind of drives the show. It reminds me of Goodfellas, with the narrating of it.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really good show. It was, like, very obviously, like, sex heavy, and, like, there was a lot of issues that they touched, even though they were both, like, murderers and toxic people and all this. It had, like, a lot of real issues, like people being, like, bored in their marriages, and, like, that's why the foursome came up.
Yeah, that foursome. I was rooting for the blonde dude. I can't remember his name.
Oh, he was so fine.
I was rooting for him.
But he was crazy. I was like, yo, this man's fine as hell, but he is psycho. I didn't know what he was gonna do. Like, when he came back to life after dying, I thought he was dead. And then he hugged him. He was all happy that the guy fucking fucked him up a little. And then when he was looking at Joe, like, brought him in the room, like, I was like, yo, he's supposed to give it to Joe.
I thought Joe was
going
to get done.
And then he was like, he just stood in front of the mirror, and he was like, self-love, man, started masturbating. And he was like, get in front of the other mirror. Love yourself. And I was like...
He got bailed out by the phone call. Poor Joe.
But he wanted it to come together. And I was like, you know what? That's interesting. Would you share that type of intimacy with your good friend?
No. I think just like I'm not going to send a dick pic, my homies aren't going to see my dick at all, ever. Ever.
Well, they're not looking at you. Maybe you're, this is just a way to promote I mean, y'all already pee next to each other in open stalls. So
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
we're trying to avoid
ain't-
eye
ain't big
contact.
of a-
We're
ain't-
holding it, trying to avoid eye contact.
I mean, who invented bathroom stalls? They make women's all private and they have men's all open. It's so weird to me, but whoever did it, you know, I mean, they wanted male sexuality to be out there, so why not?
It might have been Andy Warhol.
But yeah, no, I thought the foursome scene was hilarious until it got scary. But you know, it brings me back to like people being bored in relationships, and I think it's very important, like before you're. It seemed like even in that couple, like, because they had their moment when they were locked up, and then they kind of like got deep and real with each other. And I think a lot of people just like get together because it's like these things you're supposed to do, these milestones you're supposed to hit. So people rush stuff. They don't know themselves. They don't know the person. They don't even want to know the person. They kind of want to keep it as light as possible. They're scared to ask too many questions. The other person, you know, it's all this like fluff, but they had real conversation. Like, I always like loved you. You know what I mean? It brought this like realness, and they realized like they thought they didn't like each other because they were both trying to impress each other, and it was like these pressure and all this stuff. So it had a lot of real life aspects to it. And I just think a lot of people need to consider that when it comes to like relationships, especially taking a big step such as marriage, is just like trying to like, it's not, don't focus so much on the milestone, and ask yourself like, why do I really want this? Is it because, you know, I'm codependent and I can't be alone? Is it because, you know, somebody said I need to do this by 25, or I need to have, you know what I mean? Whatever like, just rank the list. What is the most important reason I want to do this? I know a lot of people in relationships or married, they don't even like each other. I mean, the conversations that I have with people, friends and associates, I'm just like, I don't even understand it. And I think my parents' relationship and divorce had like a opposite effect on me, where, you know, everybody reacts to certain things differently, but it was more like for me, like, okay, I learned so much from that relationship that I do not want to do that. My parents are both wiser now. My mom's remarried and it's going to be forever, and she's you know, and my dad's super wise now, but like, I'm the type of person where I do learn from other people's mistakes, especially people close to me, friends too. Seeing some of them, I'm like, okay, good, not doing that. And I learned from my own as well. So I just think, yeah, we need that it had a lot of real shit in there, to say the least, right?
Absolutely. And that that compersion, you know, I remember that scene where the blonde dude, it was Carrie or Terry, one of them is Carrie or Terry, I don't remember, but he says to Love, the lead girl, he says no, because she was wanted to get some of that you know, cock, right? And so, but he says, no, watch. And so he says, he's saying, watch your husband.
Oh, the blonde one was saying that. Oh yeah, she got jealous. Yeah.
And she was watching, and then he was getting off because he was thinking of the eyebrow girl, but you know, and she's noticed that he was getting that pleasure, and she couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
And that was interesting to me. But let me ask you this though. So, how many times have you know, gone out on a double date and then gone home and all four of you guys, you know, got busy?
It's a never.
I've never done it either.
For one, I would not be hooking up with, like, not that I'm closed off to stuff, but I'm not hooking up with any of my friends. That is just like a recipe for disaster. Your friends do this, that. What the no? Like,
and that threw me off.
You can never. Nah, yeah, y'all just can't be at Thanksgiving after that. Somebody's gonna get too drunk and be like, "What?" You know what I mean? It's just gonna get messy. I don't give a fuck unless you are just a swinger. If you are swinger and that is your life, like I think then you're fine. But people that don't really swing, that is not a good idea. Like, you don't just...
It could ruin your relationship.
Yeah, unless you... Because I do know people who are legit swingers, and that type of shit works for them. They do all kind of crazy shit, and it works for both of them. But yeah, if you're not hooking up with, like, friends and, you know, stuff like that, it's probably going to be a disaster. Especially one day somebody's inebriated. You're just like, probably not. And you know what?
That's
also,
why you got to sign that non-disclosure like they had. And that was funny.
That was very 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, it was very like...
They stole that idea. That's true.
Well, no, I think a lot of powerful people, or people who feel like they're important, they do stuff like that.
That's what I need to do with my dick pics. I got to send out a non-disclosure. You can't show my dick pic.
Especially, you should do that. You said you're having relationships with women and you're telling them I'm not available to be your dude, or I'm not available to you like that. You should be like, this is a full contract of who I am, and you should be doing that.
Full disclosure.
And then there's no recipe for disaster,
But that
have your lawyer send a cease and desist when they get out of control. You're like, send this over to them.
Yeah, here it is. Sign this before any activities. But it threw me off in that show, and this was the last thing, because it was a good show. I think it was well written. And I watched the other seasons too.
Yeah.
But when he says to Terry, the dude, he says, do you mind doing anything with this dude? And Joe was like, all right. And then they said, do you mind doing something with the wife? And he was like, and then that shut down the whole program. I was like, okay, Joseph.
Yeah, no, I think it was his wife looked at him when it was the other woman, and so that's what
he was. He's
for one, Joe's a psychopath, and that's not why he was down for this. But I mean, he's also like, I feel like, yeah, he's a narcissistic psychopath, and they're very aware, so he knows what to say to keep the everybody cool. And when he was about to say something, the wife's looking at him, and she was like, she didn't know if she was ready for that. She'd rather see him hook up with a man. She's like, you touch my motherfucker. She didn't want. So it was her. That is why the reaction was like that. It wasn't.
He was apprehensive.
Yeah.
For her behalf.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it was definitely. And Joe knows how to play the role. I mean, like I said, he's a psychopath. They usually do know how to play the roles properly. That's what they do.
That's true.
But you know what was also an interesting thing on that show was the topic of like hanging in there for the kids, and like, is that a good idea? What do you think? Like,
I mean, look, I'm actually an expert on that, but it is important to try for the kids, but if you can't be happy, the kids will know that you're not happy, and that's not good for them either. It's not good for their development. If you can't find your own happiness and they see that you're unhappy, then you're teaching them a trend of, okay, life is blah, I can't, it's negative, and you will communicate to them, whether you know it or not, that being unhappy is a good thing. And you can't do that. You have to teach your kids, strive for happiness, strive for progression, strive for, constant involvement, not stagnant, rituals, and otherwise that mundane world, they pick up on it and then they see that as a goal.
Yeah. I don't even think it's good to, personally, I don't think it's even good to try for the kids. I think you try for the sake of your partnership. But if I'm at the point where I'm saying I'm just trying for the kids and it's not even the partnership, then that lets me know all is lost there. I'm not even gonna. I don't think it's worth it, because you're right. They can sense that shit. So for me, I would step away at that point. I mean, I kind of grew up in that, and I was young when my parents divorced, but I remember all that shit. So I'm just like, don't try for me. If you are unhappy and the partnership failed, then bon voyage.
Yeah.
Go find happiness.
It's like
the kids will be happier. Yeah.
It's like when you're on the plane and they say you got to put your oxygen mask on first before you put it on the kids. It's the same thing. You got to make sure you're set, you're
100%.
happy, and before you can help anybody else. Otherwise, you're of no good.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. And with that, I do want to segue in one more topic.
Talk to me.
Male birth control.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about that. I didn't know that existed.
There's been a few companies working on a male birth control pill, trying to. I don't know if it's gonna come to market. There's been talks of it. I know they've been running a lot of tests and studies. So I don't know if it's coming this decade. It would be interesting though. But would you take it?
Look, for the most part, childbearing, the burden of that is placed on women socially.
Yeah.
And so if you put that ball in the man's court, I think they'll be more responsible about it.
I mean, it's already in your court with condoms, right? That's one. But I'm all here for it. I want you guys to have the hormonal imbalances and all that.
Is that what it's going to do? It's going to mess with the male hormone?
I
think if you smoke enough weed, you're sterile. So there's a lot of guys that are probably doing that already.
Sperm, though, like with women, you're born with a certain amount of eggs. With sperm, it can reproduce. So you can stop smoking and then it can rejuvenate. Yeah. It can come back up. So that's not, I guess that's true to a certain extent, but you don't have the same issues as women. But I think it's an interesting thing, especially with so many men trying to constantly rip the decision making and power away from women when it comes to stuff like this. But we also push the agenda and the mentality that boys should be reckless with sex and men should be. So it just is mind-boggling to me how society is. And so I want them to come out with this, but I don't know, even though they've been studying it, somebody has to take it full force and put it out there in the market, because they've done enough tests by now. They've been doing this for years, but it's all about a company thinking it's worth it to bring it to market, because they're like, are guys really going to take this? How are we going to promote this?
Yeah.
Or are they really going to, a lot of women are fine with dealing with all the fucking craziness that comes with hormones and shit, because you're right, we do have to carry the burden of like having a pregnancy and all that.
If I was the marketing manager for that company, right, I would do the image. The image would be this. It would be a 6 shooting revolver, right? And before he goes to shoot, he goes like this and dumps all the bullets out and says, "Well, I know I'm not going to hit anything this day." That's how I would pitch. It's a 30-second commercial. That's $1 million commercial right there.
But men don't want to like feel like they've been snipped.
No, but if you can control it by you're dumping out all the bullets.
But you want it. I get where you're going there, but it's gonna. A lot of you guys are. I work for a male. Well, one of my clients is a male sex toy company. So a lot of you guys are obsessed with your loads exploding. Coming. So
there's pills to make it.
So if you're pushing it that way, they might think that they're not going to be able to have those big explosions anymore.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the case too. But
so yeah, you'd have to work on that. Don't worry, you have time.
Yeah, population control companies.
You have time to make your pitch to the pharmaceutical companies. You have a little bit more.
Yeah, call me. We'll figure something out. Don't worry.
But we need it on the market because, it's crazy that the sex that is told to like wait to have sex and they're shamed about sex. They have all the birth control stuff, but you watch shows like, I remember even watching like a show like Hulk Hogan, and you see him talking to his son, and he's like 14. He's like, "You're gonna get the girls, you're gonna start having sex, being wild," and then he's telling his daughter, "You better not hook up with anybody." You can see with T.I., like he was getting his daughter checked to see if she was a virgin, and she was like, "Nah, I know, he's disgusting. I literally, I can't with it." And he's the type of man that is like, obviously he has those allegations against him of sexual assault and all this other stuff, which I'm not shocked. He's a Virgo male. I'm not shocked. No shade to my Virgo men. But I know how y'all can be when you're lower vibrational. Okay. And it's not pretty.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
But we'll see. We'll see what's to come with that.
It's good to put the decision making power in both parties too.
Yeah, I agree. It shouldn't just all be on the females. Like, because it's like, no, babe, I don't want to fucking take this birth control and fuck up my body. You fuck up yours for a while. I did it for 3 years. God, you have emotional breakdowns for no reason, or whatever the case may be. I don't know how. I forget what the studies show, what the risk of like side effects for men would be, but you risk infertility and all this shit, and I don't know, whatever the case may be.
Right, just work on the pullout game. Maybe do some instructional
Oh yeah, that's
videos.
worked for you really well. So, yeah, just you go on and promote that. What the hell are you talking about? Like, are you
a pullout how-to video? We'll start working on that.
You know what? Put that on ItsMii though. Like, please do.
Oh, that's a great idea.
But then you need to put your track record. They need to know.
No, I left it
your
in.
history.
I left it in for the
They
kids.
need to know.
I let it marinate in there. I did that on purpose.
You did that on purpose? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, there was no accidents. No accidents.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up there.
Or unwrap it and just take male birth control, and you don't have to wrap it.
I cannot with you. Well, thank you for listening today. And remember to find your favorite creator on ItsMii.com. It's your girl, Jasmine.
And I'm your man with the buttery voice, the number one choice to keep all the ladies moist, DJ Just the Facts. And make sure you look up the word compersion.
See you later, guys.